Yeah, I was pregnant and I had a whole baby. Like, I'm her mom. Like, she 3 months old and that still blows my mind. Am I crazy or is that normal? Let me know.
What up, guys? It's your girl, CPK here, aka Tasha, and today I just wanted to share a story time, basically telling you guys about the night my little baby was born. And while obviously I wanted to share it with you guys, I also wanted to make this video simply because I have a horrible memory. So I wanted to have this for like 5 years or maybe even 2 years down the line where I don't really remember everything so clearly and everything's fuzzy and it's like, you know, it's just a memory I would like to have. So I'm gonna jump right into it. Basically, the day started when the doctor, the OB, called to ask me about the birthing plan because at the time they was looking at the sonogram. Baby girl was measuring about 9 pounds 5 ounces. Her shoulders was measuring very wide, so it was just concerning. The plan was to induce at 39 weeks because of her size, but because she was so big, it just was a real concern. Basically what they were saying was, even though she's big, I could induce and everything could go perfectly fine. There could be no issues and that would be 100% best option. However, there was also a good chance that she might get stuck and her shoulder could be injured because of it, and it could be like a lifelong injury, or worse, she could be oxygen deprived and, you know, suffer brain damage because of it. So basically I ended up choosing to go with the cesarean because although the risks were a lot higher for me, I felt like they were lower for her, and I felt like it was worth the risk. I'm like, okay, if somebody's gonna be at risk, I would rather it be me. I would rather give her the best chance at life. She's just starting out, she's about to be brand new, so let's give her the best chance and get the cesarean. And I'm definitely glad I did. So I talked to them. They basically said if I wanted to do the cesarean, don't eat afternoon. It was already like 10:45, so didn't give me much time to eat anything, and I wasn't hungry. So I basically just ate a snack, and that was it. So yeah, I ate a little snack, and I wanted to sleep during the day, try to, you know, prepare myself because my appointment was for 8 o'clock at night, and I was assuming, you know, I wasn't gonna come in and then have the baby and be able to go to bed by 10 o'clock. Like, no, of course not. So yeah, I wanted to take a little nap, but didn't quite work out that way, mostly because I was so nervous. I was just so scared because I knew I was about to be a mom. I knew I was probably going to go into surgery because at this time I was pretty sure I was going to go with the cesarean, even though I had all the way up to when I got to the hospital to make up my mind. I didn't have to make up my mind until where I was there at the appointment. So I was pretty sure that's what I was going to do, just because, like I said, it was the least amount of risk for her. So I was really nervous. I was like super nervous. I couldn't sleep. Around, I want to say 5:30, 6 o'clock, I started getting ready, took a shower, you know, made sure my bag was fully packed, everything was in there, phone chargers, headphones, anything that I wanted to have with me at the hospital, so, you know, my fiance wouldn't have to come back to the house and get anything, because I already knew he was not trying to leave the hospital unless he had to. So yeah, I went through, made sure I had everything, stopped drinking at like, I think I stopped drinking at 6, which was like, I wish I would have drunk a little bit longer because I definitely had more time. But I was just trying to be careful. I didn't know how everything was gonna go. So I stopped drinking water, well, which is all I drink, at 6. And yeah, so went to the hospital at 8. got there on time. And the worst part of it, in my opinion, was definitely when we first got there, because I was just so nervous. And we were in a room for like 3 hours. Or was it 4? No, it was a good 3 hours of being in the room, just waiting. And it just was so, I was just so afraid. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was trying to stay calm because I know Phil was nervous too. I know he was worried, you know, especially because, you know, it was nothing he could do. I mean, it was nothing I could do either, but, you know, he wasn't having a baby. He wasn't pregnant. So it was just like, he just was a spectator. So I just was trying to stay calm, but I was so nervous. And it just seemed like the time was going so slow, and they just would keep coming in, checking my blood, having me pee, all this stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God, I just want to get started. I just want to do it. I'm ready to meet my baby. I'm excited. And like I said, I'm scared. So you want to get by. No, you didn't do all that, baby. You could just walk around home.
Few inches later.
He definitely didn't have to do all that. I mean, kiss. No, I don't want to kiss. No.
Still walking around.
Yeah. So yeah, I was super nervous, and time seemed to be going so slow, and I couldn't go to sleep. I was just too nervous to try to sleep or anything. So I just was basically sitting there, and there was nothing to really do. I don't even think I was on my phone or anything. I remember taking a couple pictures when the star of the story time here, my baby. But yeah, I wasn't really doing anything, I think, because I was so nervous. So I wasn't like watching videos or anything. I just was basically sitting there, and like I said, I took a couple pictures just to have. I was like, oh yeah, I might want a picture of this. So I took like a couple selfies where you can see me and Phil in the background. He actually was dozing at the time, which I'm glad he did, because it ended up being a long scenario. We were basically up all night. But yeah, that was the hardest part for me. But then time came where it was a little after midnight. No, it's probably like 12:30 in the morning. We ended up being taken to the OR, and just to getting the procedure going. And that was a little nerve-wracking too, just because in the very beginning I had to go alone, and I didn't, you know, I wanted my baby with me. I wanted him to be by my side throughout the whole experience. But, you know, it wasn't too long. It was a good probably 30 minutes of them prepping me, giving me the epidural and whatnot. And anybody who knows me knows I'm extremely shy in every way, like also with my body. Like, I don't really like to like be naked or do anything, and especially around men, like that is the triggering thing for me. One of the lead doctors, not the main one, not the one doing the surgery, but the one that was the lead doctor with the epidural and everything, it was a man, and I really didn't like that. But you know, it is what it is. So it was nerve-wracking to have to sit there, no pants on, no underwear, just a gown, and it's wide open, and I'm just, you know, they looking up there and seeing everything, and it's like, oh my God. I definitely was super nervous. So like I said, Phil wasn't in the room at first, so it was just like nerve-wracking. But they gave me the epidural, made sure my legs were numb. Well, from the chest down was numb. And it took a little while, because for some reason that type of stuff always take a while with me. I don't know why, but I've noticed that through the few experiences I had with anesthesia. Like when I had a tooth pulled, and also when I had a cyst removed on my back, they both like took a while for the medicine to kick in. Like they had to give me more medicine. Like they were like, can you feel your feet? Can you move them? I'm like, yeah, I can move my feet. They're like, oh no, okay, yeah, we definitely did give you some more. So once they had everything set up, they let Phil come in, and he was able to just sit right beside me. He was actually right here on my left, just sitting there, and I felt a whole lot better once he was there. And when they started, I couldn't feel anything. I was always told from any women I know who had cesareans, and also from the doctors, that, oh, you gonna feel pressure. You won't feel any pain, but you'll feel pressure. I didn't feel anything. So as they were going through, I just was trying to keep myself busy talking to Phil. So Phil and I were just talking about any and everything we can think about, just conversating away, because I'm like, I am nervous, I am afraid, I don't want to think about what's going on down there. The fact that they have my stomach wide open, they're cutting through my uterus, cutting through oh my goodness, I didn't want to think about any of that. So I was talking, and they found that funny. They were like, you just having a whole conversation, like, you're fine. Like, I'm like, yes and no, I'm fine, but I'm also like super nervous. That's why we talking so much. So yeah, we were just talking, and then all of a sudden, mid conversation, we just hear little Biggie cry, and I remember my heart just felt like it just stopped beating for a second. It just was like, oh my God, that's my baby, that's my baby, that's her. Oh my God, that's her. And I remember being so excited, and my eyes just teared up, and I just wanted to see her. And of course, I couldn't. It wasn't immediate. Like, as soon as she started crying, they couldn't show it to me, so I had to like wait. It probably was no more than 30 seconds, but it felt like forever, until they actually was able to like put her up for Phil and I to see. And at first I could not see, like, they were trying to hold her up, but the sheet was blocking. So I'm like, I can only see her hair. She had so much hair. She was born with so much hair. So I'm like, I see her hair, but that's it. I can't see her face. So they see her face, and I see her little fat cheeks, and everybody like, oh, she's a Cabbage Patch Kid. She's a Cabbage Patch Kid. Which was like, oh my goodness, that was just so amazing to hear. Because for anyone who doesn't know, CPK stands for Cabbage Patch Kid. I was like Cabbage Patch Kid grown up. So I'm like, oh, I was a Cabbage Patch Kid, now I'm grown up. So when she was born and they say, oh, she's a little Cabbage Patch Kid, it's like, she's a mini me. I was just so excited, so happy. That was like one of those moments that you can't describe, you just have to experience. And I'm sure it's different for everyone, but it was just like the best ever. And basically after that, they still had to like close me up and everything. Phil got to hold her for a minute while they were doing that. Like, I couldn't do anything, so he held her for a minute, and then they took her to do what they had to do for her, and they started to close me up. And that felt like that took forever. Like, just the longest time, me just laying there while they closing everything up. And I'm like, I just want to be with my baby. She having a good time. I'm like, I just want to be with my baby. So that was like so long, but I felt better by this time. I wasn't as nervous because I heard my baby cry. I seen her face. I knew she was born. I knew that, for initially anyway, they didn't see anything wrong. Everything was looking good. She was looking healthy. She was just this chubby little angel. And I'm just like, I just felt a whole lot better at this point. So they're going through all of that. And then when it was finally time for me to hold her, they gave her to me. They put her on my chest. Unfortunately, it was very short-lived because my blood pressure dropped dramatically. It dropped really low, and I started to feel super dizzy, like somebody had gave me a sedative. I really felt like I could barely stay awake. I was really about to lose consciousness. So I told them that, and then they said, did I want them to take the baby? I said, yes, take the baby. I don't want to drop her. So they took her really quickly. It was less than a minute that I held her. Probably only like 15-20 seconds, and then I just felt myself fading. So they got my blood pressure back up, and I didn't actually get to hold her again until we were in the other room. But you know, we went to the other room, the recovery, and I was able to get back up with Phil because, you know, he had to separate again for a second. And she was there all wrapped up like a little burrito. Oh my goodness, I love those little, I kind of miss wrapping her up like a burrito, but she's not really into that anymore. So, but yeah, so we go to the recovery room, and I wanted to feed her because, you know, that's what you do. You feed the baby after she's born. I wanted to breastfeed, so I'm like, I'm ready to breastfeed her. But I had to get my blood pressure together because it just kept dropping. I don't know what was going on, but my blood pressure did not want to stay up. So it just kept dropping. And it took probably about, hour, or maybe really it took like 3 hours from me giving birth to her. No, it probably was about 2.5, because she was born at 1:31 a.m. I didn't even say that, like, oh my goodness. Born 1:31 a.m., 8 pounds, 14 ounces. I guess I should have included that in when I heard her voice or whatever. That was one of the first things I said was, what time is it? What time is it? I want to know what time it is. I want to know what time she was born. So, yeah, so by the time she had finally got to eat, it probably was like 3:30, almost 4 o'clock in the morning. And I tried to breastfeed, but my milk hadn't come in yet, so I just was trying. And we got up to the room, I think I'm gonna say around 5 or 6. The sun wasn't up yet. I remember that. It was still pretty dark by the time we got to the room. So it probably was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and then the sun started coming up. So I remember watching the sunrise and just being in there. And honestly, the pain wasn't... yeah, I'm good though. The pain wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. Like, I just knew I was just going to be in excruciating pain. Obviously, they gave me pain medicine, but the pain wasn't as bad as I thought. And of course, initially, I wasn't going anywhere. I had a catheter, so they wasn't like I was getting up to use the bathroom anytime soon. So from that standpoint, I wasn't really in any pain. The medicine was doing plenty, so I was perfectly fine. I actually didn't experience any pain until it was time for me to get up and start moving around. That's when I really was in pain. So basically, they just kept giving me medicine to stay ahead of it, because that was the whole thing. You don't want to wait until you're in a lot of pain. But, you know, I got to hold her. I got to try to feed her. It wasn't very successful because, like I said, my milk hadn't come in, but it was just an awesome experience. That's something I want to say I'll never forget, but with the way my memory's set up, like I said, this is why I have the video. But like I said, I just wanted to share it with you guys and also have it for my own record. But now she is 3 months old. She is so beautiful, and I just feel like I am just so blessed to have her in my life. And in hindsight, I feel like I made the best decision. And the doctors even agreed that it was probably the best decision. Like, induction wouldn't have been the worst, but even though she was not 9 pounds, 5 ounces, it was still a good idea. It still could have posed to be a threat to her if I would have tried to have her naturally. So it was good that I did what I did. It's like, yeah, maybe it would have been okay, but maybe it wouldn't have been. And then you never know what the situation would be now, you know? So I'm glad I did it. It's a longer road of recovery for me, but it's worth it. I will take the longer road for my baby anytime, any day. No big deal. It's baby girl can have anything she wants, like anything. So, but yeah, so that's it. That's basically how it went. That was my day. The day my baby was born. I didn't even say the date, but October 21st. I know I'm so backwards. I wait all the way to the end of the video to say the date. So my appointment to have her was actually October 20th. And had they been able to get the OR and everything together sooner, then that would have been her birthday. But it ended up being October 21st, 1:31 in the morning. So yeah, that's her birthday. And it was definitely a day to celebrate. I just still can't believe it. 3 months old, and I'm still like, I have a baby. I'm a mom. Like, how did this happen? I was pregnant. Like, what? I was actually pregnant. Like, I can't believe it. It's just mind blowing to me. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. I honestly didn't know if I was ever gonna have kids, but now that I have her, it's like, she's my everything. First and only child. Will she have a younger sister or brother? Only time will tell. But for now, she's it. She's our everything. Well, she has a big brother, but he's grown, so you know how that go. He off doing his thing, being a whole adult. But anyway, that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a big like. If you enjoyed my content, please subscribe. If you want to know when I upload, go ahead and ring that bell. Other than that, I will see you guys next time. And I know I haven't been very consistent on uploading every Saturday, but honestly, you already know what it is. I'm here with the baby, day in, day out, trying to make sure I'm being the best mommy I can be. And videos will always be secondary to that. So she has so much to say. She is having a great time. So I'm going to get off here so I can have some playtime with my baby. And yeah, that's it. Bye.